What are the signals that you see from sovereign credit right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, when you look at credit, actually, and sovereign credit, I think both, I mean, it's interesting. So first of all, if you look at the Treasury auction yesterday, it was a much weaker uptake than had been expected. That could be a little bit to do with fatigue. It could be a little sign that investors aren't so happy with the yield they're getting. But we're also seeing a huge amount of issuance from, in the US. We're seeing the Fed itself continue to trim down its balance sheet. We did see a little bit less in terms of international buyers, taking that up as well. So I think we are seeing a few signs that maybe investors aren't quite so happy with the yields that they're getting now, in the Treasury, for example.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Marilyn was talking about, right? Let's call it the Watson chart. This is the weakest demand for the benchmark 10-year note in a decade in the US. Do you worry about that, Ed?
No. No, I don't, because what that tells me is simply people are being rational. I mean, if I'm a Japanese investor and I'm looking at 10-year treasuries, but I want to buy them hedged, I'm looking at a negative 50 basis point yield. I mean, that's even worse than JGBs. Why would I do that, right? And European investors are up to the gunnels already, unhedged in US treasuries, and they don't want any more US dollar exposure for risk reasons, because if the dollar turns south, it's going to look ugly. And at this yield, I don't think they're being sufficiently compensated.
OK, so where should treasuries be right now?
Well, so that's the million-dollar question. I mean,
you get that right, and we're all billionaires.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I mean, I certainly think, within a range of sort of, a very broad range of sort of 2.35 to 2.7, I think is the broad range. And it really then, we have seen this headline news, but I think, given the issuance from the US, say, given the hedging costs and the demand from foreign investors as well, you would expect potentially to see them tick a little bit higher.